Jared had always been a protective father, and Maya, his 9-year-old daughter, was his world. He made sure to pack her favorite lunch every morning with love and care, wanting her to have the best start to her school day. But today was different. When they arrived at school, something felt off, though Jared couldn't quite pinpoint why. Maya seemed a bit nervous, but that wasn't unusual for a child starting the school day. Little did Jared know today would test his patience and devotion as a father like never before. Maya sat down in her usual seat at school, excited to see her friends. But as Jared glanced around the room, he noticed the other children were eagerly unwrapping healthy, well-packed lunches. Maya, however, opened her lunchbox to find it nearly empty, with only a half-eaten sandwich, a small serving of mushy vegetables, and a note tucked underneath her tray. The note, however, made Jared's blood run cold. Special lunch for our exceptional students. Jared couldn't help but feel a wave of confusion and anger rise within him. What did this mean? He asked Maya if she knew why her lunch was different from the others. With a puzzled expression, Maya told him, "Ms. Collins said it's for students like me." That's when Jared realized something wasn't right. Maya didn't deserve to be treated differently. She wasn't any less than the other kids, and no one should be made to feel like they were. Feeling an intense mix of worry and fury, Jared approached Ms. Collins, the teacher, trying to remain calm but struggling to hide his emotions. He asked her point blank, "Why is Maya the only one who gets this lunch?" Ms. Collins, avoiding Jared's gaze, said, "It's a special program for students like Maya." It hit Jared like a ton of bricks. Special didn't mean better, it meant segregated. His daughter wasn't being treated equally, and this wasn't just a mistake, it was discrimination. Taking a deep breath to steady himself, Jared turned and stepped outside. He couldn't let this pass. He reached for his phone and dialed 911. As the call connected, his voice trembled. "There's a situation at my daughter's school. She's being singled out based on her race. I need someone to come immediately." It wasn't long before the authorities arrived at the school. Jared explained everything, detailing how Maya had been treated unfairly. A tense silence filled the air as the officer walked into the school to speak with Ms. Collins. Jared stood outside, trying to console Maya, but his mind was racing. He couldn't believe this was happening. Not in a place where kids were supposed to be learning equality, not in a school where everyone should feel safe and valued. After what seemed like an eternity, the officer emerged from the building, his expression serious. Jared's heart sank as the officer approached him. "We've spoken to the teacher," the officer said. "It seems this lunch program was intended to be for students from disadvantaged backgrounds. However, it's clear now that the program has been implemented in a way that isolates certain students based on race, and that's not acceptable." Jared's anger flared again, but he didn't show it. He thanked the officer and turned back to Maya, whose confusion still lingered. As they walked away from the school together, Jared's thoughts were consumed with one question. How could something like this happen? His daughter had been treated as if she wasn't worthy of the same lunch as the other children. She deserved the same respect, the same care, and the same opportunities. Maya, still not fully understanding the situation, looked up at her dad with innocent eyes. "Why did they do that, Daddy?" she asked. Jared's heart broke. How could he explain the ugly reality of racism to his 9-year-old daughter? But he didn't want her to grow up thinking she was different, or that she had to accept being treated unfairly. As they got in the car to leave, Jared took a deep breath. "You are just as important as anyone else, Maya," he said softly, holding her hand. "Never let anyone make you feel like you don't belong. You're special, but not because of what someone else says. You're special because of who you are inside." Jared knew he couldn't let this incident go unnoticed. He had to make sure Maya understood her worth and that she never allowed anyone to make her feel less than. But he also knew he had to fight to make sure no child would ever experience what Maya had been put through. The school needed to do better, and he would make sure of it. The story didn't end there, though. Jared later reached out to local community leaders and educational organizations to raise awareness about the discrimination that had occurred at Maya's school. What happened that day was a wake-up call, not just for Maya, but for the whole community. It was a reminder that racism still existed, and it was up to everyone to stand up against it. Though Maya couldn't fully understand everything that had happened, Jared knew the incident would be something that would shape her future. And as a father, he made a vow that no matter what, he would always fight for her. He would always make sure she knew she deserved to be treated with kindness, respect, and equality. This story is a powerful reminder that the fight for equality is ongoing, and that no matter how small the action may seem, every voice counts. Jared's courage to stand up for his daughter shows us that we must continue to speak out against injustice and inequality wherever we see it. It's not just about lunch. It's about creating a world where every child, regardless of their race, background, or color, can feel valued and loved. Subscribe for more heartwarming and emotional stories.